Good morning po. In earlier chapters of Ezekiel, we learned that God gave Ezekiel the responsibility to be a watchman of God's people, to warn them about the impending doom of God's judgment to their nation. Ezekiel warned the people of God by a series of act-out prophecies. Our verse for devotion today, found in Ezekiel chapter 5 verse 1 and 2, is one of it. Let's read. Now, son of man, take a sharp sword, and use it as a barber's razor to shave your head and beard. Then take a set of scales and divide up the hair. When the days of your siege come to an end, burn a third of the hair inside the city. Take a third and strike it with a sword all around the city, and scatter a third to the wind, for I will pursue them with drawn sword. In this act, Ezekiel showed the people the accurate judgment that they are to receive because of their disobedience and their wicked acts that is worse than their surrounding nations. On the act-out prophecy, Ezekiel used a sharp sword. He shaved his head and used a scale to accurately divide the hair. A third to be burned, a third to be stricken with sword, and the third to be scattered in the wind. Now the portions of the hair refers to the population of Israel, and the act done to it refers to their judgment. Mentioned in verse 12, it says, 1/3 of you shall die in pestilence and be consumed with famine in your midst, and 1/3 shall fall by the sword all around you. And I will scatter another third to all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them. If we read the rest of the verses in this chapter, we'll get more details about the intensity of God's judgment to Israel. Israel's fall is a reminder that God is just and true. What He promised will come to pass. No sin will go unpunished. And it is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of a living God. The vengeance belongs to Him. He will judge His people. But praise be to God, because we are living in the shadow of His grace. Not because of our deeds, but all because of the ultimate sacrifice that Jesus did for us on the cross. We were supposed to be an object of His wrath, but because of the blood of Jesus, we were gifted with grace. And we can now hope for the wonderful promises of God. Let these motivate us to live a godly life and as a model for non-believers, for nations that does not acknowledge God. We are to represent Jesus in the world. We are the new people of God, living in His love, enjoying the grace and peace, leading people to the Lord to share the same love that we receive from Jesus.